times.
Yeah. Oh, we've got loads to show everyone tonight. We are live. It's still today, so that's a good look.
I think it's
so I am joined, yeah, 2011, Wednesday, October the 24th. Here for the Global UK Tour live update from Cambridge. And I don't just see Harry and Jason there. If I'm right, I think I can see Trinity 4 on the camper today, guys. Am I seeing things? Is this for real? I'm seeing all three of you there. Harry, Dave, Jason. You're right there, pal. How you doing?
All right. Not bad, pal. How's you?
Nah, very good. Very good. So, guys, Cambridge today. How you feeling? Let me start from left to right. Harry, how was Cambridge for you today?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Constant stream of people. Manageable. Constant stream. And Kimmy and Bob tonight as well. They were amazing. Just turned up, stuck in. Considering I think it's only their second time or third time being out in the streets. So, yeah, they separated and did a, what do you call it?
Pincer movement.
And separated, so there were like, 5 of us stretched out through the whole group. Yeah. No, it's fantastic. I loved it. And I looked at my clock and I thought, wow, 6 o'clock already. It's just flew past.
Love it. Love it. I was just saying to you guys before we went live, I was absolutely not torn between the 3 feeds. It's like I wanted to be in all 3 feeds at the same time somehow. So there was a way that I got it where, whoops, sorry, can you not hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I had my laptop open, had all 3 screens open at the same time, and I found myself doing what other people are doing, like muting one, listening to one, watching the interaction going on in the other one. I just wanted to be in all 3 places at the same time. It was like, meanwhile, Dave was having an amazing interaction. There, Jason is holding it down with a couple of people having another amazing interaction. And then I'm still looking at Harry's screen and going, but wait, it's just all simultaneously going on. It was just the best, guys. It was the best. It was the best. I don't know. I find myself keep saying every time I see content, guys, I don't know how it can get any better than that. Guys, I don't know how it can get any better than that. That was brilliant. How encouraging. Look how many people are stopping. Look how many people are engaging. And there again, I stand corrected. Again, an amazing day, guys. I mean, I know the viewers that were watching your lives today, that will fully resonate with them. And if anyone hasn't already watched any of this stuff, everyone's channels is in the description. Trinity 4, Jason and the DISBURY, and John Smith Global. All of their channels are in the description box. So with one click, you can get onto their channel and look at all the content that was uploaded today. Just the clips that we've got lined up for everyone today. I'll just let everyone know from now, this is not going to be one of those, 35, 40-minute updates. We've got some clips to show you tonight. So, if you can hear what we're saying just now and you want to get yourself settled, go and get your cup of tea, go and get your hot chocolate or whatever it is you want to tuck in with, because we're about to break down today in a way I've never seen done before. Some amazing stuff was going on.
The home of higher learning.
Sorry?
The home of higher learning.
Yes, I like the sound of that. I
got school.
So, how Jason and Dave as well. How was today for you, Dave? How was today?
Today is because obviously it's been a while since I've been involved in such intense flood of stuff, because it's great to be in a group. It's great to have the banners. So today was like a big day at Speaker's Corner for me. It felt a little bit like that. It was intense. So we were getting it from the youngsters. We were getting very well-educated people coming at us, and it was go, go, go pretty much the whole time. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. From it just seemed like a day in the trenches. So it's nice to have your feedback, because it just went by in a blur. What about you, Jason?
Sword fighting with magicians,
wordsmiths,
yeah, and with all trickery and and you've got to try and bring them back down to our reality, not all this magic. But yeah, it was a fantastic day. I felt as though that we could have done with a few more bodies. Could have done with a bit more hand. We needed another 2 or 3 Daves. Didn't really get that. Really got the one, although he was doing the work of 2 or 3.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I saw quite a bit of the content today, and I'm telling you, between the 3 of you, and we were joined by other people as far as I could see today. Kimmy and Robert came along as well. Am I right?
Yeah, fantastic effort by them too.
Brilliant. So, I mean, I think that just stands testament to the fact that individuals have taken it upon themselves to go to Cambridge. And this isn't the first time this has happened. There's been other people that have come along, and including myself, I came along, joined in Doncaster, and I don't live anywhere near there. And I think it just shows that if you're passionate enough, you're going to end up where Dave's sitting right about now on the camper, having done what you've done today. And it's comfy, isn't it? It serves its purpose, doesn't it, Dave? How are you finding the camper?
Really comfy and nice and cozy, nice and warm. So yeah, very, very happy to be on holiday. I haven't been away from my home for more than 2 years. I think 2 years, or for any night or anything like that. So this is like a holiday for me.
and Dave's family is with them.
Yeah. Andrea and Alexander with us tonight. So yeah, it's all cozy and homely. Very happy. Love it.
Yeah, it's the longest time I'd stayed away from home, and it was really lovely to be in such a kind of warm and cozy environment. People that I get on with. It's like a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Can I also ask you another thing as well, Dave? How has it been for you seeing how other people perceive that camper van when you're actually in the camper van?
I haven't really had that experience firsthand because we only left Cambridge after dark, basically dark. So that hasn't. I haven't had that pleasure, except Andrea saw it coming around into the caravan park, and she said when she saw it coming around, it was a very impressive sight. This emblazoned flat Earth Trojan horse coming fresh from the battle at Canterbury at Cambridge. Sorry.
Sorry, it just broke up there. Say that again.
Oh, thank God for that. I was saying no, the camper van is very impressive to Andrea. She saw it coming down. It just come back fresh from battle at Cambridge. So yeah, no, it looks good, and it feels better on the inside for me right now.
So if it's okay with you guys, I want to play some clips. But is there anything specifically you want to talk about before I go into playing some clips? Because as I said, for the viewers, I've got quite a few clips to get through this evening. Because as I said, the content today was just absolutely astounding. Absolutely astounding. Some of these conversations going down today were just awe-inspiring.
Just what a pleasure it is to have Dave with us out on the street, because he's just, as we all know, just awesome at commanding an audience. And when he really starts on his role, people just drawn around him like a magnet and thrown by him, and holds that audience greatly by his projection of his voice and his passion for the truth. Yeah, brilliant outright the truth.
Thank you very much. That's kind of. So I wasn't hoping for Harry to say that. I was hoping he was going to say that Cambridge is like all about its university, and it's all about its higher education, and it's all about the excellence in that. And here we come, a bunch of troglodytes from the farm, and and we're telling them that their entire edifice, the world-leading Cambridge, is built upon a wobbly ball that doesn't hold up to much scrutiny. Well, they're going to try and rip shreds out of you, right? So you can expect, if you're watching this, to see people who are entirely offended by the fact that we're still breathing air.
I saw even in your mud flood video today that you literally, as you came out of that garden, you like mobbed by like 100 students, not mobbed, but literally
The Spanish mob. The Spanish mob.
Yeah, it was like a rogue wave that just blindsided you with like a million students. And to me, that kind of said it all to me. I was like, that's what Cambridge is, student life. Yeah. To me, it was quite overwhelming. I was watching Jason's feed today, and there was a point where these guys, they just, it was a lot, wasn't it, Jason?
Was it a lot? I hadn't noticed. Yeah, there's
You did it really well. I'm telling you, you did some truth warrior stuff today with these boys, man. And I've got to take my hat off to you, because I would have not had the patience you had.
Yeah,
just saying that.
There was one in particular who was his education was the most educated person that I've ever come across in my entire life, ever. Period. And you know, like I felt at first I was holding my own with him, and then all of a sudden he started getting a little bit personal and that, and started being too rude and trying to trigger and you know, so that I kind of basically, you know, fronted up to him and, you know, like, and said it how it was, and, you know, said, oh, you know, how dare you, and things, and he kind of calmed down a little bit. But it's later on, he came back again. I was still filming and that, and he just seemed to be a different person, a little bit more well mannered, you know, like, and he wanted this interaction with me. Yeah, so, but his education. You know, we'll never get through to them people. That's just, I can't see that ever happening. You know, these guys are, well, as Eco Dave put it in, you know, like if they're getting these really expensive tuition and that, I just can't see, I can't see that they're going to throw it all away from, well, as Dave says here as well, was it 3 troglodytes?
3 troglodytes from the farm, fresh in from the farm. We still got the harvest stuck in our hair, would you believe? Well, not being my harvest was nicked from me. That's another story.
No, I believe you had a few people there today that wanted to interview you guys. Could you emphasize a little bit on that for me?
Yeah, that's the local Cambridge radio station.
Newspaper.
Yeah. So it came out with a camera, a video camera, and a camera. I think it's about right there for about half an hour or two.
Yeah, it's a good interview.
Yeah, it's quite a natural one. But when they phoned up earlier about what we're going to discuss, they were using words like conspiracy theorists, organisation, group. So I reiterated quite a few times to them that we don't want to be referred to as conspiracy theories, and we're not a group, just a group of individuals who only agree on we've been lied to about the shape of the earth. After that, we all have our differences and our different paths we walk.
Well, water's wet. We can agree on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we agree on water's wet. I think that's about it.
Yeah. It's a good basis.
Yeah, we're the water's wet society, just so we're clear. No more flat earth.
So Jason just pulled it up actually, and it's quite accurate, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's in Cambridge News tonight, and they haven't strayed too far from what we wanted, so it's not too bad. It's quite fair. Okay.
And am I right in thinking that you've got an interview tomorrow morning?
Yeah, a little bit too early this one, because we're going to be quite tired and we've got a lot of running about. But yeah, we're on BBC Radio Nottingham. So Harry's already had a chat with them tonight, and just to fill in a few pieces, a few blanks.
Set the boundaries.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens at 7 o'clock. Did they say?
7:15.
7:15. Okay. So might be able to catch that either on their website or. I'd imagine some sort of what is it they have? DAB News, DAB Radio, internet radio. So it'd be a live. It'll be live for Nottingham. So it'll be live for Nottingham, but it's BBC Nottingham, so it's regional for them. But like you can still go on the internet and listen to different people.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If it's all right with you guys, I'm going to attempt to play some clips now, if that's okay with you.
Rock and roll.
Perfect. So I'm going to just start to do my little screen sharing stuff. I do assure everybody I will get a bit better at this as I go along, bit by bit.
Me too.
There we go, present to everyone. Get back on my screen. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm seeing now. Yeah?
Yeah, that was good.
Lovely. Right, I shall fire away.
Let me show a quick wonder. This is Cambridge. Okay, we're in Cambridge Market, just outside Don Pasquale's. And we've already had Cambridge News. So we've had an interview with Cambridge News, and we're about to go on the radio, breakfast radio tomorrow for BBC Nottingham radio at 7 o'clock. So if you'll listen out for that one. Okay. Oh. Well, we had a feeling that this might be a little bit one of the better sites. Look at this. There you go. Take a leaflet there, buddy. Yes, no? No, too scared? That's okay. Would you like a leaflet? No, it's like what's it? The Antichrist, is it? You might learn something.
That's Kimmy.
That's okay. Would you like a leaflet? There you go. Cheers, buddy. Oh, I don't know. So, I think I'm giving out, crosses or garlic or something. Oh, sorry. It's really funny, it is. Right. Oh, no. Okay. Can we just correct that one little word? Sorry. When did I start knowing this? Sorry, it's fine. It's okay. About a year and a half. Are you okay for this? I can move it or... Yeah, I'll move it. It's okay. Yeah, so about a year and a half, I came across 200 proofs Earth is not a spinning ball. Okay, I watched half an hour of it. Thought it was nonsense. 47 years of age, and thought, oh, this is ridiculous. Went to bed. So much of it made sense within that half an hour. It's a 2-hour film. I only watched the first half hour. I turned it off. It's rubbish. So I'm sat there all night, staring at the ceiling, right the way through the whole night. And then in the morning I thought, I've got to watch the rest of this. Watch the rest of it. So much of it made sense, but it still has to be nonsense, because it sounds like a good theory, because I was like, yeah, theory. Okay, I mean, I think, no, that's the thing, that's the government. That is purely the government with disinformation. I've never met a flat earther that believes in that society, anything that they say. Yes, we do, but we're not part of that society. That's government disinformation. They believe some strange stuff as well. Okay, but this is what I know. Okay, and if you go away and if you research what this spherical trigonometry is by Pythagorean theorem, if you go away and you agree on it and you're happy with it, that the curvature drops at 8 inches per square mile. Okay, then start looking at lands that you shouldn't be able to see. This is Blackpool on the promenade. Over 65 miles, it was in the Blackpool Gazette, you can see the Isle of Man, okay, on a good clear day, that mind you. But 2,500 feet should be hidden, okay? But the highest mountain is at 2,000 feet, but we can see it all. This is Dover to Calais to Dover. 300 feet should be missing, but you can see it. This is 273 miles, and 3 miles should be hidden, but we can still see land. There's a guy called Jay Tolan, and he's got infrared footage, and he zooms out on an airplane and that, and based on the calculation and the altitude and that all worked out, he can still see up to 600 miles with this infrared camera. I don't know. I can give you a theory on that. I don't know, because, and I'll tell you why I don't know. No one's been held accountable for it. And that's all it is. But a theory is more land beyond the Antarctica, because we believe that Antarctica is in every direction. South is every direction. We've only got one north in the middle, okay, and south is in every direction. We don't.
If you want to see the rest of that interaction, I'd like to stress to you to go over to Jason of the DISBURY Families channel and look at his live stream from today, Global Eye UK Tour Cambridge. And he actually did over 4 hours of live streaming today. 4 hours, Jason. That's a lot of footage. That is a lot.
Yeah, that's right. The time flew by so quickly. It did.
I've got another clip to play, but I just wanted you to give me a quick synopsis of how you felt that interaction went.
With that young girl, I apologise for the camera. I mean, like, because sometimes you don't realise who you're, where you're filming. Something. I mean, we're live, but we're trying to talk to people as well. She was quite dismissive at first, when they're like kind of rolling her eyes and that. But after I kind of talked to her and that, she was quite polite and went away. See done, maybe, like she's got a leaflet. Hopefully she'll go check it out, maybe. Hopefully.
I've just paused it on the screen and I can see Kimmy there, my lovely Kimmy, bless her. That's Kimmy in the pink top, Kimmy Spreadbra, who you often see in the chat room. She's in the chat room tonight. Big hugs to you, my darling gal. You were there with your husband today, Robert. Massive love to the both of you for getting up there as well. I just realised I've just paused the screen and she's there. Looks like she's shouting the odds at someone, doesn't she? With the leaflet in her hand, bless her. I want to play this next clip, Jason, if that's all right with you. A group of 5 somewhat clever clog students, one of whom is clearly science, finishes up with one looking at alien, etc., and then comes back with, let's say, some verbal. I'm going to ask you to give us a synopsis after this, if that's all right with you, Jason, because I feel that this is this is very worthwhile showing people. It's a few minutes for everyone, so sit back and relax. And I'm going to hit play right now.
It's just density and frequency. So, oh, he's been on film loads of times. Okay. Sorry. Okay. I mean, like, we're just asking about proof of claim. I mean, like, all these people that are claiming that gravity exists, we're asking for proof of claim. What is gravity? What is it? Because science can't agree on what gravity is.
He's looking at you.
Force attraction between us to prove this. Okay.
There you go. You jump.
Something pulled him.
How much of an education has he got? Can he jump?
Something pulled you down. How can you evidence that something pulled you down? You showed me something. Something like density and buoyancy. The fact that the molecules in you are heavier than the atmosphere around you, the air around you. So therefore, that when you jumped up, that you came down, you fell through the air, and then the air is buoyant and it rose above you. That's why a hot air. That's why a heat. That's why you're indoctrinated to believe in scientism. Well, that's what you've been led to believe, but you have no proof of this. No claim. Say that again. In what way? Well, density and buoyancy, I said. You've claimed that. Density and buoyancy. Nothing more than no, you won't use the word mass. Well, that's okay, wonderful. Density and buoyancy. That's what I'm saying. Density and buoyancy. That's all what I know of gravity is. But you can't prove your magic theory of gravity, the magic thing of Harry Potter, that something has pulled you to the floor, even though that. Are you? Can you prove this? Or you're just regurgitating something that you've had an exam. Okay. How can you prove this? I'm asking for proof of claim. Well, no. You can tell me. You're the one that's making these claims, these Harry Potter magic. So you don't
well said,
believe in gravity. Well, yeah, well, that's what we're asking. I don't know what gravity is. I'm asking you guys because you're not explaining it. Can you explain it? Oh, I have, but I'm asking you. This guy here, Henry Cavendish, okay? So I do know what you're trying to say. Sorry? Because density and buoyancy? the molecules in you are heavier. Okay, heavy. Oh well, again. You said mass. You've said mass a few times now, but I haven't said that word once. Heavy. It's heavy. Excuse me. I can only do one question at a time. And like, so we're talking. Okay. That's yeah. Of course you can. That's what you've been indoctrinated to believe. Okay. Okay. So that's okay. So it's okay. Right. Okay. So we're asking for that claim. Okay. That's all we're doing. There's something pulls you down. Okay. Density and buoyancy adequately explains why things fall. That's why a helium balloon will rise, and that the magic theory of gravity won't pull that helium balloon down. Okay, right. I'm speaking to him now. He wants to ignore. He wants to be rude to you, and now we're going to this guy here. Sorry, physicist. Okay. Well, in that case, let's get rid of your whoa. Let's get rid of your scientism cult belief for a second. Let's go to our observable observable facts for 1 second. Okay, let's start there. Observable facts that we can both share and agree on. Okay, because you can come up with some model of science that I can't disprove or prove, and I can't agree with you or don't agree. Of all the science? No, probably not. But look, this is land that you should not be seeing. If you are, this is something that you can observe for yourself. This is spherical trigonometry based on Pythagorean's theorem that on a 24,900 mile circumference of the Earth. Okay, so is it not? Have I not said anything wrong so far? You're rolling your eyes. 24,900 miles. For every mile, there is an 8-inch drop. Okay, 8-inch squared drop. Okay, for every mile. This is Blackpool. On Blackpool Promenade, you can see the Isle of Man on a good clear day. This is in the Blackpool Gazette. So on the promenade, based on 65 miles, and that calculation, which you can take the leaflet away. Okay. See, that's why I think that's so idiotic. You are meant to be a bright young couple. Atmospheric conditions, just density of atmosphere. You guys, this is why what mess you up. You'll believe anything. It's just look, I haven't finished. And if you won't let me finish, look, this is 2,500 feet is the of curvature should be hidden, but the highest mountain is 2,000 feet. Why can we see land that we shouldn't be able to see? Topography, we're talking about Earth's curvature. Yeah, we're talking about topography, we're talking about the curvature.
He doesn't know, and then you say you don't know.
Yeah, but we're talking about Earth. No. The thing is, I can't convince you in 5 minutes of anything that I have to say. What I implore you to do is to go away, and then find out, is that mass correct? And if that mass is correct, I would like you to go away and just challenge some of these evidence that you can see. There's land that you can see that you shouldn't be able to see. And I think it's a legitimate question. I think it's a legitimate question to ask. Sorry. Of course you can.
Okay, how the hell have they got pictures of the Earth from space? Satellites going round the Earth.
But you believe satellites are up there? Okay. How did you get up there? Sorry? Rockets. So how do they overcome Newton's third law? For every action, there is to be an opposite equal reaction.
All the force going through the mass of the fuel.
Sorry? The mass of the fuel. So when it gets into space, what is it pushing against all that propulsion?
Nothing.
Exactly. There you go. There's nothing. So how does Newton...
It's already going, so there's nothing to stop it, so it won't stop.
Oh, I didn't know that. So when the astronauts get out and they get on, they do their spacewalks, and they've got their jetpacks on there, and they can go in every different direction, up, down, backwards. No. They do spacewalks out in in space. So how can they go in every different direction? You just said, sorry. Okay, what are they pushing against?
Fuel goes that way.
Okay.
So that goes that way. And that's what Newton's third law.
What is it pushing against? What are you talking about? Newton's third law, for every action there has to be an opposite and equal reaction. You have to push against something. No. Is it on your part? Yes. So we'll disagree on that on your part. You're not understanding Newton's third law. Newton's law. Sorry, can't you say that? You're back. Oh, sorry, you don't believe that a rocket should be able to push against something when it's up there. So it's not pushing. What is it doing? Propelling against what? Propelling against what? Against what? Sorry. Against what then? I'm asking a question. I mean, okay, so when they're out in space, as I said, and you've got these jetpacks on, and they can go in every direction. Okay. Push down. Sorry, buddy. Thank you.
Going that way, so I go equal and opposite that way.
Okay, so you don't think they need to push against anything? No. Well then, yeah.
Well, sorry, you both think how rockets are. Yeah, you're saying you just go up and push. But then, what about recoil?
Recoil, okay. So I want you to look up Joule's experiment and look at free expansion.
Well, how about you look at the gun firing?
Okay, I've looked at recoils, but when these rockets go up in space, they're not a gun, are they? Okay, they are not a gun. Okay, but look at the Joule's experiment and free expansion, and then tell me.
What is? Can you tell me about it?
Probably not. I'm not a teacher. No, I'm asking this guy to go. I'm asking this guy to go away. Oh no, I'm not trying to score points. I'm not trying to be big-headed and show off with my friends and that. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to get you to go away and look at some videos and be honest with yourself and challenge this to yourself. Not to him, but for you to go away. But you're not. You want to sit here. You want to stand and score points.
How did Joule's experiment change your
mind? On the propulsion. Okay, because what they're saying, what science is kind of saying is that once these rockets are going up, that their gases, once they burn these gases and they release them gases, and that they're pushing against, once they burn more gases, they're pushing against the previous gases, and they're going further and further and further, pushing against all the gases. That's basically what science says. Okay, but when you look at the Joule's experiment, okay, and you've got the vacuum of space, and the vacuum is meant to be the greatest vacuum known to mankind, it would pull away all of this gases so quickly before anything would be able to.
No, hang on, you put it all wrong.
Okay. But we're not going to be able to agree with this statement right away. But that's for you to go away, and that's for you to decide for yourself whether the Joule's experiment is wrong. Because I'm only carrying information. That's for you to go away and decide. Is the Joule's experiment wrong? Okay, so you explain to everyone what the Joule's experiment is.
You explain it. We don't know about it, so it's up to you to tell us how they.
Well done, Jason. Well done.
I've been
he had him referring to his phone straight away.
Some of your indoctrinated education, learning some of it.
Right on his phone there, isn't he?
Well, it is because you can't really critically think for yourself. You've got to pass an exam, aren't you? You know. Sorry, God. Can you? And if you do think for yourself, have you? Okay. So you know about Airy's failure, and you know about Sagnac experiment, and you know about Michelson-Morley.
Yeah, I know the Michelson-Morley.
You know the Michelson-Morley. Oh, what about the Airy's failure? You know about that as well? Airy's failure. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, Airy's failure.
No, I don't know about that.
Okay, and they kind of prove that Earth is immovable and it does not spin, does not rotate. But this is kind of like, this is scientific, peer-reviewed, knowledge, and most people haven't heard of this. I've got it all written down over there on that one over there, so you can go check that out and see if I've got my information right. So on that one there, go and have a look at that. Earth is flat and stationary. Possibly not. I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I've always been an agnostic. I won't be an atheist. I can't prove it either way. Sorry, can't prove it either way.
Well, if the answer's not yes, then you're technically an atheist.
Not necessarily. No. I'm open-minded enough that there may be a creator. I do not believe in the theory of the Big Bang. I do not believe in the theory of evolution. The theory. Of course I don't. That's ridiculous. I mean, excuse me. Sorry, say that again. Look at me, what? Come on, you want to be insulted? No, I haven't been insulting to you once. But I can, if you would like me to insult you. Well, that was, look at him. How dare you? I mean, look at what you're doing. You know, like that. What about my camera that I'm holding up? Can you hear this guy? Look at him, insult me.
Yeah, well done, Jason. Well done.
Disgusting, that was.
That was disgusting. There's no need for that.
Cordial. Yes, I am. And then you come up with that. You try to insult me that way. I'm trying to interpret that you're trying to insult me then. Look at him.
Look at your actions.
Okay, explain yourself. Explain yourself.
Constructing this giant...
Yeah, well, leave that there. This guy's just here to troll us.
Well
it's nice talking to you. Cheers, buddy. But I don't like to be trolled.
Well said. I think what I'd like to say here is there is a haughty spirit of these indoctrinated people who turn to seething and sneering. And as Robin said, it's ugly, but very fascinating at the same time to expose this in people. It's very interesting how they quickly turn to the narrative of, do you believe in God? And if you're saying no, then you're technically an atheist. And then look at him. I think it was absolutely disgusting how that's how they chose to defend the false idolatry belief that they're holding so dearly to themselves without any proof. I think it was a really valid thing to show. I don't know how you feel about that, guys. Could I get some feedback from you on that?
Yeah, I just found him offensive and demeaning at first, you know, like, but I'd say he did come back later on, and we had a further talk and that, and he was a little bit more civil, a bit more. I won't say open, because these guys here, they weren't really being open-minded to listen to what we have to offer. It was more of that they just wanted to come and score points, you know. That's what it was, and you know, show all their mates and all that, you know, like, oh yeah, we had that, we destroyed them flat earthers, didn't we? You know, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got a message here from Lifting the Lid for you that he sent me on Messenger. He says, Jason, I salute you, sir. You're a freaking legend for handling every challenge that they threw at you, and you rightfully accused them of coming to score points. As far as I'm concerned, you're a super elite activist, mate, and I loved every minute, and we'll be learning from you and watching this exchange again.
Thank you very much, Robin. Thank you.
No problem. And I want to let the viewers know that I am going to come back to the sneering boys, and I'm going to let you see where that interaction went. But in the meantime, the next clip I'd like to go to, guys, if it's okay with you, is on Trinity 4's channel from his feeds today. Just so you can see, Trinity's been live 4 times today, guys. Okay, so if you have not looked at Trinity's channel today, please do so. Okay, there is a lot of content on his channel today. In fact, almost 2.5 hours worth of content from start to finish on all 4. But for me, I'm going to play this one here. Okay, so if you want to see more, I want you to go to the channel to look at this one here, this one here, and this one here, and a ton of other stuff that he's got on his channel as well. But this one here is the one I'd really like to play for you just now. And if you'd allow me to do so, I'm going to go from here. Pin your Lugol's back, everyone.
Some sort of roof, or some people say they don't, but they're in some kind of structure above us, as in the constellations that we know are in one sort of, if you like, format, and they stay in that format and have done for all of recorded human history, which is why they don't move. If everything's spinning and whizzing at billions of miles an hour, they never move relative to each other. So that's the one factor. The other, the most important, is that the wandering stars, which we call planets today, they were always known as wandering stars. They are, if I observe them with my naked eye, all I see is another star. Yeah. So that's all I see. Now, I'll ask you to think about it like this. This is one of the things I realized myself, is that if they are planets, dusty planets or gas giants, as we've been taught, and that they are reflecting the sun's light from millions and millions of years, miles away from us, so the sun's light is traveling all the way to that millions of miles away Saturn or whatever, and then it's reflecting its light back to my eye, and it looks identical to one of the other suns that they say the stars are, right? You've got to equate that in your mind and say, so when NASA fly one of their sort of Voyager probes out there and takes a photo of one of those things, why are they not so bright? Because they have to be as light as a star. They have to be as bright as a star in order to reflect back to your light. All right. So I mean, how do you know that though? How do we really know that? Okay. So I agree with you. So here's let me think. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But you a spherical object by looking at it through a telescope because you've only got one eye and you can't resolve 3Ds in one eye. So that's one of the problems. And I think that what modern telescopes do is they put in a digital overlay so that it can kind of clean that up. But let me ask you to think about something else because I know listen, I've spoken to loads of people about. Okay. But let me ask you to look at, if you don't mind, looking at, because I don't think telescopes are nearly as powerful as we've been told they are. So they're not looking millions of miles away. They're only looking tens of miles away. That's my view, because if you take your telescope and take it to the highest building here in town and then try and focus on a house at the outskirts of town, try and resolve a person in that house on the outskirts of town, and you won't be able to do that. Because your telescope is not that powerful. But I want to offer you something else about the luminaries, particularly the moon. And that is that if the moon is up during the daytime, the dark patches of the moon resemble the same color as the background sky, like blue or whatever. But it's never like black or dark. So all I'm asking you to think is that they say that the sun is 93 million miles away, but the means of measuring that is an unknown thing. Nobody can tell me how it is that we measure it, and how in the last 100 years it's gone from 3 million miles to 27 million miles according to Kepler. We've had 80 million miles, we've had 110 million miles, 103 million miles. Now we're at 93 million miles. So these are huge differences in the maths. So parallax or whatever. That's great. Please don't do the research, though. I'm not asking you to believe me. Oh, yeah. That's a good question. Yeah. You mean like that Hollywood made it? Yeah. I know. Yeah. What's your name? Seth. Okay. How old are you, Seth? Okay. I'm not asking you. I appreciate your question. I think it's a fantastic question. I'm 50. And 3. Well, for me, it started with 9/11 at the beginning of 2015. I found out that, you look at 9/11 journals and the BBC tell you, and you find out that none of us right. So I look at it again, I'm like, okay, there's something very badly wrong with that. Then in May of 2015, a friend introduced me to DMT. Do you know about your pineal gland? Okay, so you've heard of ayahuasca, maybe? You're in South America. It's like you take this plant and it connects you to the spirit world. I went in 5 minutes of doing the DMT. I went from a full fat.
And if you want to see the rest of that communication, for some reason, we're either being censored just now, because when I watched this just before it came through, yeah, we had a little bit of technical difficulties with it, but the reception wasn't that bad when I was watching it. So I'm trying to bear with it, but it seems to just be going a bit crazy. 1 second. Let me just play a little bit more if I can.
I was born, my grandparents were born into a deception, the one that took us to... Well, I'm more liberated now, and I'll tell you why. Because before, I was fearful of things like
outside of society.
Well, particularly this idea that I was just in time. That was all my life.
Well, yeah, no, you must be being a freak and, not wanting to watch anything.
No, I think there is so I had the veil, the 3D.
And I'm going to leave it there. And if you want to see the rest of that interaction, go to that one. And obviously he's got his other contents from today, which is just, you know, like I said, utterly awe-inspiring at some points. How did you feel that interaction went, Dave?
Oh yeah, that lad was asking me some very interesting questions, and he was trying his hardest not to be like, you know, you're a complete country bumpkin fool, you know, and what is it like to be, you know, you know, living outside of the normal society and the mainstream, and how weird must that be? But actually, you know, I found him, you know, quite interesting, and I think that one of the challenges when you're out in the field is that you're obviously going to come across people for whom this is a crazy notion, and some of them are going to be very clever in the way that they come at you to try and undermine what you're trying to tell them, because it is quite offensive to the mind.
Yes.
So, you know, for me, it's nice to get back in the seat and be doing a bit of this thing, and kind of interacting with people that are hard cases and difficult cases to deal with, because this is, I think, going to be the challenge as we go forward, that as people find out about it. Yes, it'll be easy for some to say, shit, there's enough of a groundswell of, it's not going to be hard for me to grab onto the flat earth information, whereas there's others that are going to dig in and come at you, you know, fists, you know, flying and going, you're a nutcase, you know. And so we've got to, I mean, Harry and Jason have obviously had a lot of time on the road, but I've got to get my, you know, get my sort of teeth on the bit and be able to handle these. So it's good to have the practice. Yeah, I mean, will he go away and do more research? I don't know about that, but it's early days for some of these folks. It was a fun day. I'll say that while I was, you know, it was really fun, and I'm glad I'm back in the saddle.
Yeah. I definitely got a lot out of watching your content today, Dave. I have to say, I was somewhat mesmerized by some of the captivating conversations you had today. What I love is how organic they are. You know, it's the fact that they can go off on any tangent, left, right, and like you said about getting back into the saddle, there is something about getting out there and speaking to these complete strangers that you've never met before. You don't know what walk of life they've come from, and it's actually irrelevant what walk of life they've come from. It's the fact that they're a human being and they can complimentally communicate means it's grounding for a conversation, and it's, you know, self-evident that it's happening.
Yeah, well, I have to say that it feels, you know, I've done a few sessions at Speaker's Corner on my own lately, and to be with the guys, yeah, it feels a lot more empowering and powerful.
Yeah.
I think it might come out later. There was an interesting interaction between Harry and myself, where, you know, I'd sparked something, and then he was able to kind of pick it up and run with the ball, while I dealt with some other, you know, fires that needed putting out. So, you know, and you know, if you're probably going to show me, because somewhere out inside of me, every now and again, upwells this kind of need to project my voice to the folks, and and I think having, you know, the lads around and what have you. Not that you need them, but it's just that you're, you know, you feel like you're part of something. It's not just me, some lone, you know, nutter standing in the thing. I'm, you know, part of a group, and I feel empowered to kind of let it rip, as it were, and you know, give a full Shakespearean moment.
And which you do also know well.
Can someone tell me? Because I do remember watching. Was it Harry or Jason's feed today when your voice massively elevated, Dave, and we got to hear you at full elevation mode? Does anyone know where that clip is off the top of their head, just randomly?
Jason covers it well.
I don't know, but it's a nice. It's actually, I mean, if you're doing this and you know, you want to see the people, you know, if you're seeing it from the camera lens looking at me, you won't see what I see, and I see when I do that. Like people around, there was a restaurant nearby as well. I noticed the restaurant kind of stopped for a little while, because I just briefly, and I mean, this is something that I'm.
Oh, yes. In fact, no, I've got the clip actually. I've got 2 clips, and it is on Harry's feed that we can see doing that. So if it's all right with you guys, I'm just gonna play the last part of this rebuttal from these students when they came back on around to Jason.
Jason's
And then after that, yeah, and after that, I'm gonna play the clip from Harry's feed of you, and then we're gonna get into some more clips. So sit tight, everybody. I'm just gonna play this real quick.
So every part of the sea.
It's because of the differences in gravitational effect of the moon over the surface of the Earth.
Okay.
So it's because
So it's not gravitational pull.
no, it is. It is gravitational
It
effect,
is.
but it is due to the difference in gravitation. It's not a first order effect; it is a second order effect.
Okay.
Because the variation in the moon's gravity creates some areas where the acceleration is more towards the moon and some areas where it's further away.
Okay.
Actually, there's not just the pulling out. There's also
So why large bodies of water like, I don't know, like the Dead Sea, Black Sea, and all that? How come that they've got no tides? Is it not? Does the moon not have any pull on them, or there's a second effect thing that we're on about?
Right. So what is?
Does it not?
What's happening? Isn't this just getting pulled like that?
Okay.
What's happening
And squeezed.
Smaller bodies of water just don't have this.
Well, the Black Sea and the Dead Sea, it's not really a small body of water, is it?
Boom.
It's like that. Look,
It's not as big as that one, no.
Okay. So okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Fair enough. That's a fair point and all that. But yeah, I don't accept your reasons on that. I don't think it's something you can prove. I think it's.
we have pretty accurate GPS satellites.
My problem with satellites is it's two items. It's propulsion. How can the propulsion get to space based on Newton's third law?
No rocket has ever successfully been launched.
We see them go up. We see them start to curl over, and then we see them start to come down. That's what we see. That's what we observe. Okay. Well, that's how we do it.
And if you want to see where the rest of that conversation went, as you can see, it's going somewhere. Go and check out Jason's channel. I urge you to check out Jason's channel. Jason, how did the rest of that conversation go?
Believe it or not, we actually parted shaking hands, and he was still rolling his eyes a little bit, like, but I think he calmed down a bit and was giving me a little bit of this as a this troglodyte farm at the time of day.
Oh, you not make me laugh.
You have to tell me that one. I'll be thinking about that forever.
Oh, what you like? Well, Harry's. Yeah, hold on. So, first one from today. Oh, in fact, that's another clip. Okay, yeah, I'll try and fit that in.
Hey, John Smith Global has got 6,999 subscribers. There must be something occulted about that number, isn't there?
Hold on. Yeah, look.
I know that's definitely, there's something funny with that. Yeah.
And if you haven't subscribed so far, please subscribe now.
Go ahead and subscribe to the John Smith Global Tour.
Be the 7,000th subscriber.
Yeah, you could be the lucky 7,000th.
There's a free curly whirly in it for you on the 3rd of November.
How about that? You can collect it directly from Harry himself.
So,
donations. It's worth saying thank you for the donations that have been made.
Do you want to go through that now, or do you want to go through it after this clip? You decide.
You want to go through the donations after this clip? After this clip.
No worries, guys.
If this is where I start throwing verbal incendiaries into the Market Square in Cambridge, then it's probably worth it, because it tends to have a sort of fizzing effect.
Yep, I'm on it, darling. 1 second. Let's just get in here, guys. Right, so everybody, sit back, get comfortable, pin your luggos back.
There is no proof that gravity is a real force. It means when I lift something up, it will drop back down to the floor. There is only one up. I'll get you inside. There's only one up and there's only one down. Water at the micro level will act perhaps under surface tension, but give me a cup of water, it's going to be level. A pool of water, your bath is going to be level. A lake is going to be level. The channel between England and France is provably level. We can see the beaches on a clear day over in France. How is that possible if you live on a ball 24,900 miles in circumference? You should have 8 inches per mile. Well, we know our common sense tells us that water is level, and heck, we're not spinning. Can anybody tell me how fast you're spinning right now? What does it feel like? 500 miles an hour? 600 miles an hour? Apparently, it's something like 800 miles an hour, friends, that you are spinning around, but cannot tell you, cannot see it. Clouds are not moving, not an inch a mile an hour. So you think that you're spinning at 800 miles an hour? The teacher told you so when you were 6 years old. At 6 years old, I remind you, you still believe in second floor. And then you came down the chimney. Good. Water is level. If you can bring me anything other than water that level, I'll be interested to see it. But for 3 years now, I've been looking for curving water, and I've yet to find it. So I'm contending to you, my friends, that we live on a flat plane within an electromagnetic torus field. Look into electromagnetism, it may explain what you think is gravity. But everything else, when you lift up and you take that ball and you drop it back onto your head, perhaps you will realize that it was simply the force that you gave it by lifting it up that caused it to fall back down. But that force on its own is surely not enough to explain how water will cling and shift and butterflies will cling to the underside of a ball and never know any different. It certainly feels to me like when I travel from England to America, the sea has been level across the entire journey. But your science teacher would have you believe that there's a 1,000-mile drop between here and the east coast of America.
I have a question.
Absolutely impossible. You know, the physics of water require for the water to be contained and still, otherwise it will spill.
Hey, I have a question.
And a question. I see the sun every day. I see the sun travel over my head every day. Is it flat though? Is the sun really flat? Well, I'll tell you what I see. I'm a young man. I'll tell you what I see. I've been observing it very closely for the last 3 or 4 years. What I see is a disc. I don't see a ball. NASA and Disney will show you a ball. But if you honestly look at them, it's a little bit hard to see now. If you look at the moon after this conversation, you look at the sun, honestly, all you will see is like an M&M, a disc, a Smartie, whatever you want to call it. That is round is a leaf, actually, because we've never been on the moon. Check out this documentary on YouTube. It's called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. You watch those astronauts come back from the moon, they look like guilty men. Guilty men on the top. Why should they look like guilty men? They should have been the heroes. But guess what? 3 years ago, Buzz Aldrin accidentally mentioned to a young child who goes to 9-year-old that we never went to the moon. That's what Buzz Aldrin said. We never went to the moon. Now we do not have a technology. The moon, if anything, is alive and it's local. Ask yourself this question: how is it on a clear day when you see the moon in the blue sky that the area behind the moon is also blue? The area that you see through the moon is blue too. It could be black. It's meant to be in the darkness of space. No, my friends, it's true. Rocks do not float in the sky, and they certainly cannot be held up by theoretical ideas like gravity and relativity. That's the best way time to space. If all you need is a whole massive things up in the sky. Some common sense is to go up from you. You don't think that rocks go to the sky. What's in your head? NASA and Hollywood and Disneyland
Sorry, guys.
have provided you with the world that you live on. I am a 50-year-old man, and I went through the same indoctrination as all of you, so you can smile all you like. I've been there, I've studied, all right? But the truth is that water is level, and in your heart, you know that water is always level when at rest. So at what point are you going to allow the indoctrination to bend that water into a never-ending sphere? It's going to fall to the floor. Because the truth is, there's only one down. And this creation was created for you. because you are the center of the creation. Ask your scientists about the WMAP. Ask them what the WMAP tells them. Every year they do the background radiation. And what do they find? They find that we are the center of the universe. And you, my friends, are the center of creation. If there is a creator, it is you. Do not let your government, do not let your mind bending indoctrination tell you anything other than that. You are the center of the world. And my name is Trinity 4. Here we are.
Excellent, Dave. As always.
Just warming up. Just warming up. Just warming up. I can do this. Any questions?
Wow. Dave, what have you got to say for yourself?
Hi again. Yep. That was a decent warm up. I think it's quite nice to watch it, or a little embarrassing to watch it on playback. But yeah, I think that
I just want to say I really enjoyed that. I thoroughly enjoyed everyone having to put their luggos back and just listen for a minute and slow down in their lives. Go for it.
When I see myself do this, I always think, shit, I need to actually write myself like a little spiel that I can run through things in like a kind of some sort of concise order. I mean, maybe it's fun for me just to do it like this ad lib all the time, but I think it's when you've got people's attention, it is useful to try and leave them with a few nuggets that they will go home and chew over for the rest of their days until they go and look into this for themselves. So no, that was really fun. It was awesome to have the guys around with cameras so they could pick some of that up, because I wasn't filming at that point myself. I noticed when I first kicked off, the restaurant next door started paying attention as well. And Harry said he likes that phrase, if you think that rocks are floating in the sky. I didn't say this, but I said this, if you think rocks are floating in the sky, but I would also say that you then have rocks in your head. But I didn't get to say that because I was in Cambridge, you darling, and I was trying to be very pleasant and nice about it all.
Yeah. And you did do a fabulous job of that, I must say.
Well,
you really did.
We will keep working on that. Thank you.
And that's all we can do, right? That's all we can do is keep it. And the more we get out there and speak to people, the more we can kind of like hone our skills somewhat. Well,
I'll tell you, if I can share my own feeling on this, is that for me personally, because I'm quite a like emotive guy, I suppose it's fair to say, and when I'm passionate about something, I'm very intense about it. And I think that for me, as I get into doing this more, I will just make much more fun out of it, And so, because like just in the same way as when you first find out something, you might be angry about it. Eventually, you'll be able to kind of do it in a way that, for me anyway, I speak for myself, that it's not. I'm not delivering it in any way that's angry, but simply in an entertaining and attractive kind of stimulating way. This for me is the way to go, because I just get tired of repeating the same kind of mantra and having people give me their same stupid, fluoride look. And for me, it's like I can't do that. I need to kind of dominate the conversation, because my friends, we do not have time for a meeting of the Ball Earth Society. We do not have time for a meeting of the Ball Earth Society, and therefore I do not have time, my precious time, to waste on ball thinking. Okay, so there's only so it's like someone asked me the other day, good question, would you like to debate some ball believers? And I'm like, it's hard to want to debate people who are going to bring magic and things like that. I only want to talk and things that we can test and not real. So if you want me to debate, can Santa get down my chimney? No thanks. I left that conversation when I was 7 years old. So that's where I'm at. It's like I get a little bit kind of feisty and on the front line, because you only have so much time to give to people who are wanting to cling to their sphericity and their oblate spheroid. So I would say that I'm just trying to get to a place where what I can deliver is something that is almost authoritative, not, you know, because like we saw in Cambridge today, we've got a million people who claim to be far more educated than we are, and I get that question, oh, so what is your qualification? You know, who are you to be telling me what's what and who's who and so on?
Yeah.
And you don't really want to be fending questions from 18-year-olds about your educational background and shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
These kids weren't even a stain on the sheet, you know, when I was doing shit that they'll never do. So, you know, for me, I'm like, hey, you know, yeah, I'll give it to you, but I'm going to give it to you my way. I'm not going to stand here and listen to you parrot me in the way that they do. I won't get it right all the time, but that's my travel. That's what I'm hoping to bring to the party.
Yeah. I mean, even that young lady here, she just couldn't quite let you speak, could she?
She was quite I think we all had a little time with the lady with purple hair. She was quite a special, memorable case.
Yeah, I'm going to play a little bit if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Research, propaganda. My God, I mean, if only we'd know.
Have you heard about this science experiments that prove the Earth doesn't move?
No.
Why not? Right?
The Earth moves.
But
we have images from thousands of years ago of the sky then and the sky now, and it's different because the Earth is moving.
So why do you not want to listen to information that contradicts that?
I've heard information which contradicts that, and I've also heard thousands of scientific arguments.
I just expressed the experiments that prove the Earth doesn't move, but you don't want to know about those. Why don't you want to know about those?
Anyone can make one experiment which says something, and they can do that by lying, by falsifying data. We've known the Earth was round since.
Can we have a discussion rather than you talking over?
How about this? Have you got Skype? Have you ever got Skype? Have you ever Skype called someone?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you think you're an intelligent person?
I think I'm able to understand basic science.
Okay.
Really, all that's necessary in this conversation.
I quite agree with you. That's what we agree on. Then could I give you experiments that prove the Earth doesn't move, which you don't get taught in schools? Now, you seem very dismissive in your closing your ears already. Is that intelligent? Can I ask you to dismiss without inquiry? Is that intelligent?
It makes sense to listen to other opinions.
But I don't feel you're willing to listen. I feel you want to discount without inquiry, which is actually the basis of lunacy and not intelligent.
The difference is, I happen to listen to recent inquiry which has been done for thousands of years. You're listening to a movement which sprung up about 5 years ago and has been dismissed by scientists across the globe unanimously.
You don't know that, though. That's you're assuming it.
No, I've done it.
You don't even know what information Look, you get frustrated and angry because you won't know.
You haven't given me any new information.
Yes, because
you are attempting to discount my opinion by claiming that having emotions renders my arguments invalid, whereas the truth is emotion is in fact one of the elements of logical reasoning. And furthermore, you cannot. I haven't had this. We're giving you new information, but you haven't given me information.
So can I have popular arguments if I'm overly emotive?
How about this?
I feel getting exasperated because I have a different opinion to you.
No, I'm getting exasperated because you're not listening to me.
No, I am listening to you because I was just want to ask about these scientific experiments.
Well, every time I try and bring one up, you keep telling me that I'm getting exasperated. That's like,
Look at your body language. Can I just mirror your body language?
Thank you.
As you get exasperated, why are you not calmer to listen to a difference of opinion, whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong? And then articulate why you think I'm wrong calmly, then people will be more willing to listen to you. But if you're going to have that body language and dismiss what I'm saying without inquiry, then people aren't going to listen. You become more frustrated.
I'm sorry, is my body language not open enough? I will happily use open body language, and I will keep a smile on my face.
No, I'm not asking you to. I'm just asking you to be a bit more reasonable, listening to something which goes against what you believe.
You still haven't given me a reason. You're just dismissing me based on the fact that I have emotion.
There's the Nicholas de Morley experiment, the Ailey's failure.
Would you like to explain it?
Okay, I will do, and I'll name them. Nicholas de Morley experiment, Ailey's failure, and the Sagnac experiment all went out to measure the movement of the Earth. Peer-reviewed, mainstream science, all concluded the Earth does not move. And that's written in historical accounts, but yet you weren't aware of those. That's scientific, basic science you're talking about.
All right, now here's mine. Over 2,000 years ago, in ancient Greece, 2 towers were built in Athens.
Yeah, okay, I know that. Yes, I know the history.
Towers had the same height.
I know the history.
And yet the shadows they were casting were different lengths.
We all know that, right? What's your point?
So how can you say the Earth isn't a spinning globe?
Because doing measurements like that would work on a flat plane with that moving us. That did not prove that the Earth moves. That proved that something is moving, whether it be up there or down here. It did not prove that the Earth is moving.
Well, then how do you explain satellites?
I don't explain satellites. You made a claim there that you have satellites in space. Then I would ask you to prove that.
Well, you can see them. If you look up into the sky, you can see satellites moving.
No, you can't. You can see something moving. You see no detail. It's just a shiny object. No matter how powerful the telescope is, there's no detail. They're telling you the satellites, and you're believing the satellites without any evidence.
And how do you explain going to the moon?
Do you believe they went to the moon?
God, of course I believe we went to the moon. There were retro-reflectors on the moon.
How do you know that?
Because observatories can shine high-powered lasers and get the reflection.
Have you done that yourself?
I don't need to do that myself.
So then it's a belief you have to.
It is a belief based on evidence, based on thousands of scientists who have independently done this and said that it is true.
You said this and then what? I'm asking what evidence for.
I just told you, thousands of scientists who have done it and said it. So I have to choose between whether I view
No, I'm not asking you to believe
or
a
a
word.
scientist.
Excuse me. I'm not asking you to believe a word. I'm only asking you a question.
No, you're asking me to discount evidence from
I'm
science.
not asking you to discount. I'm asking you to prove your claim to me, and I'm asking you for the proof of your claim. That's all. You are the scientists who can measure that on the moon.
Well, how about this? How about the fact that since thousands of scientists independently agreed on this, you're the one who has to provide evidence?
No, you're the one claiming you got a pink elephant in your wardrobe. You have to prove that to me.
No, you have the burden of proof because you are going against hundreds of years of scientific knowledge.
I'm saying you don't understand the burden of proof. The burden of proof is on the claimant, not the person
And you're
questioning.
making a claim.
Right? What claim am I making?
You're claiming the Earth is a freaking flat sphere. You are basically Discworld.
Where have I claimed that? Where?
You're claiming we didn't go to the moon.
I'm claiming we do not live in a spinning ball. There's no proof of that. I know we did not go to the moon. There's no proof of that.
I did over 20 countries independently pick up that transmission.
You don't know the picked up a transmission from the moon. That's what they're telling you. You have second-hand information.
And tell me, do you think that we were on great terms with Russia at the time?
I lived through the supposed Cold War. I'm telling you now that you're brainwashed to think there was a. Oh, so you don't think you're possibly brainwashed?
No, it's not. You don't even believe in the Cold War.
I lived on your first-hand experience. Where are you going to run off to? Where are you going? There was no war. There was an exchange of information, and there was an exchange of a couple of so-called spies. There was no war. Russia and America were working on patterns.
Wow. Wow. It's just looking where her mind's going. I've got a teenage daughter myself, and I'm just glad I'm where I'm at with my daughter. I just hope, I really do hope some of these kids slow down and just maybe take a breather and relax a little bit and slow down and look into these things. How do you guys feel about this?
Does she look like a wizard from Harry Potter? I don't know. There's a character she looks like, but I'm not sure what movie it's from.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was going to say the fluoridated water that she's been drinking has made her hair turn a funny color.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
if it can't be that, most Americans.
I'm just going to play it in the background while I line up the next clip. I just want you to give me a synopsis, guys, of how you perceived all that. I don't even have to sum it up in words myself. It's just I'm really into body language and idiosyncrasies of people and where they're right.
I felt very sorry for her because she was so adamant that she was so right, and at such a young age, when you're speaking to people far elder than you in years, not that they're necessarily right, but they're trying to question what you're actually saying, and she becomes more adamant and confident that she is right. And but when I brought up the Cold War, how we were kept in fear during that period, where there wasn't actually a physical war, but there was a lot of propaganda going about on both sides to keep us divided, that she stormed off and asked people who she thought were old enough to be in the Cold War. And unfortunately, the first person she asked was nowhere near that age group. So she went and asked older people if the Cold War actually happened, was there a war? And I asked her if she was looking for friends to consolidate what she's trying to argue, to get friends on their side. And I think she didn't feel confident enough to express herself as one entity. She needed people to back her up, which she didn't really get.
Right.
But I think it's just sadly totally brainwashing from such a young person, and also because she was so passionate and felt she was so right, she just didn't want to listen to anything else that was said to her.
It's hard work.
Yeah, I'm just lined up this clip. Yeah, I feel like she had a bee in her bonnet, and she was definitely going to defend it all the way. Like I said, I feel it's incredibly interesting to see the diversity of the youth and how they're perceiving this subject and their reactions to it. I just find it. I learn a great deal from it. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I'm speechless. I really am. I get speechless.
Yeah, but I think what's valuable about meeting people like this is that it allows us the opportunity to see how people are conditioned to think. And for those people who watch this, who are sort of on the fence or who still think that water flows around balls, then, you know, seeing people make answers like the ones that she makes that are unsustainable or unsupported, it starts to undermine their own kind of sense of, look, even people who are, you know, in Cambridge vociferously, you know, clamoring for their balls, are making claims that really we don't agree with, you know, when it comes to this stuff about what happens in outer space and all this sort of stuff. Yeah. So I think it's actually edifying. It's not only edifying, it's par for the course. You know, because if we weren't so deeply indoctrinated by this, then we wouldn't be doing this, because it would simply be a matter of, you know, a few people heard it on a few TV shows and a few news shows, and then bing, you know, it would be overnight, there'd be the sea change. But that's just not what we're seeing. So this is the reality of it. And I think what I'm trying to teach myself is that I actually embrace and try and love these people. I'm learning that. I'm not saying I'm there, but to love these people despite their intransigence and their deep, you know, but because really all it is you get a variety. Let's just say there's 10 different reactions to the same scenario, you know, and we're seeing those played out in all these different places. So it's fascinating, but you know, after a time, I guess, like in Harry's case, you get used to seeing these sort of people. One every second village, one will come up, and it'll be like, well, okay, it's another one, just like, you know, the blue hair girl from Cambridge.
Lovely jubbly, guys. I'm gonna click onto this next clip now, and I just want to show that Robert and Kimmy came today as well. So I just want to quickly play this, if that's all right with everybody. Just unmute it.
I'm thinking this idea that actually far more important than your religious teachings and your history.
With the addition
all
of
of us,
the
not you as a Jewish man. I mean, you.
There's one thing I've
Here's Robert and Kimmy.
Hello, Henry. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, I love it. Hello, hi, Tara.
Yeah.
You went just with me. I was in some quite fantastic to see you. Yeah, fantastic action. Yeah, great.
Love it, love it. Robert's awesome.
Even guys I've been talking to, I can start some way laughing, and they do go away with their tail between the legs because, okay, why was we laughing? Yeah, no.
And they get frustrated because they can't treat the claims.
Maybe that's the case, yeah, but we're not saying.
No, we're just asking.
We're just listening, yeah.
So the five of us here, we've got Dave Mantle over there, Jason Disbury over here, Kimmy, and a lovely partner. Well, so we're in the middle of Cambridge, at Cambridge Market. It's got a nice sunny day. Got all the banners out. Jason's amazing style.
It's a brilliant setup, guys.
Yeah.
Before I finish.
Yeah, and there was so much through traffic. It was like, you know, if we'd set up a little business selling city trinkets, we would have made a fortune.
It's really encouraging to see how many people have actually stopped to interact, and they're not just all flying through at 1,000,000 miles an hour. You know, at Speaker's Corner, it's really different because people are there shopping for information. But when you're on the high street, everyone's trying to go to the supermarket or the shop to pick up something on their way home. They're not really interested in stopping. So it was really encouraging to see the amount of people that were stopping.
I know. I think this guy here, he looks like Beavis or Butthead. He frightened a few people away, I reckon. But yeah, no, you get to see the whole world. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think there is an element of for me, the skin needs to thicken, because to have people sneering at you when they're coming at it from, they think that we're the troglodyte farmers, but in fact it's an inverted world, and the troglodytes are those who cling to sweaty balls. Balls that have water clinging to them.
Well, this person might be, really with it. I'm going to represent here a bit of a walk away. I'm not really sure what's going on with my feed at the moment. Seems to be jogging up. So not really sure what to do about that, guys.
Well, while you're doing that, I suppose we could chatter about
please.
what we're doing tomorrow or something.
Yes, please. I also wanted to let everybody know that I'm going to be putting Kimmy and Robert's channel in the description alongside Trinity 4, John Smith Globelight, and Jason Disbury. But I did want to...
sorry, I hit 500 subscribers today, 500 on my channel for. So thank you very much for subscribing and your support. There are a handful of people that are very supportive to me, very nice things that they say and so on. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much for that.
Excellent. Absolutely brilliant. Please, yeah, as resumed. I'm just going to pause that for a second. Or am I? No.
Can you tell me what you think of that?
I don't know.
What is with all the sixes, by the way? 1,666 views.
It's Freemasonry. Number of the beast.
Quite nice, yeah.
Because his bell was into the flat earth. Yeah, his pal. He came at me like hard, and then it turned out his pal was into it, so it didn't take long to switch.
Very
Sorry, guys, I'm just flicking forward to this clip. I want to play. This lady ends up walking off. It just the cogs are not turning properly, and she walks off. And this guy, he walks off as well. Just
Talk to the hand. Brain's not working.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm questioning for proof of that claim. I'm only asking you to please prove that claim.
Well, I'm not a professional scientist, and I don't owe you an explanation.
So then, if you're being honest with yourself, sir, you'd have to say it's second-hand information you believe in.
Yeah, but isn't all information that we process in our lives second-hand?
No.
First-hand.
It's self-evident truth.
Self-evident truth is truth can be misleading on first encounter.
Can we swap before we run? Is it a fact that two entities here?
Wow, that conversation went from like 0 to 1 real quick, didn't it?
Question the claims or give evidence.
I mean, what do we have to say about that, guys? What's good there?
Yeah, I think when people come along confidently and make so many quick claims, and then if you hold them on that before they go on to the next machine gun fire like questions, and say, well, can we just say that, and can you provide any evidence of your claim before we go on to the next stage? And then, of course, they feel uncomfortable because they know they're not going to be able to provide any evidence or any proof. But I like to keep them tethered to that point. So we can establish that you have no proof of the claim. So therefore, we can't accept that. You have no evidence to go on. It's complete opinion or a theory or a misplaced perception that you've seen something you're not. But so they realise they're on camera and they realise that, oh God, I've dug a hole here, I can't get out of. So their ego takes over and they storm off. It's the only way out for them.
Yeah, I want to see if you guys can just bear with me. I'm just going to roll through a few clips all in one go, and then I just want you to summarize on the end. I want you to bear with me, Harry, because I really think everyone needs to see this. And I know it was the reason I want to break it down like this, and this is with the aid and abetting and assistance of lifting the lid today. So I want to really give a massive shout out to Robin lifting the lid for this, because the way he's assisted in breaking this down, I think this is a brilliant way to present this. So I'm just going to play a quick 30 seconds of this clip. Then I'm going to stop. And then before saying anything, I just want to jump to another clip. And I just want you guys to roll with it, if that's all right. One sec.
Therefore, you can't model
Man in the hat, troller. Troller, right?
Okay, so just give me a second, guys. Okay, here we go.
Is 50.
Why are you so condescending to people with different opinions to you?
I'm not condescending.
You just condescending to him.
He's trying to tell.
I was on competition. Why are you condescending to me about my education, which you know nothing about?
I was just having sarcastic.
So why are you being sarcastic to a difference of opinion? Yeah, you're a troll.
I'm not a troll.
You're a professional troll.
I'm not a professional.
So why are you sarcastic to people? Sorry?
I'm a professional troll. I'm a heckler.
Yes,
it's different. It's an English tradition. It's the heckler in the back.
I just told you that. I just told you that.
Yeah,
and you denied it.
I'm happy about that. You put that on the internet too, but you think I'm a troll. I'm not a troll. I'm a heckler. Trolls follow people around to troll them. You're standing in public talking bollocks. Talking about things you don't actually know.
I can give
you have a strange belief.
I can give a shit about your opinion. I can give a shit about your opinion, though. So you're wasting your time. Oh, yes, you do. You're standing here.
You're trying to tell everybody else.
No, mate, you're nuts. You're nuts.
Am I nuts? Yes, I am actually nuts.
Thank you. You're fucking nuts.
That doesn't mean I'm stupid. It
You are.
doesn't mean I'm deluded.
You're
It doesn't
stupid.
mean that I'm right.
You're stupid.
Am I stupid? I didn't call you stupid.
You're stupid.
I said you got it.
Does your nurse know you're out alone?
I'm telling you, if you want to see the rest of that, please go to the Cambridge live feed from today on Harry's channel, yeah? At the moment, it just changed the view count on that for us, please, because we're not really happy with this view count either here, yeah? Not really liking all these sixes that are just getting put everywhere. Not really liking that. But, I mean, guys, I wanted to break that down like that. Thank you so much, lifting the lid. Can you give me a synopsis on that, please? Harry, could you start us off on that?
Well, I wasn't going to engage that guy because I personally felt he was an obvious troll. And he was trying to control the narrative, talk to other people, and shout over when Dave was talking. I can't recall 100%, but I suspect I've already encountered that gentleman at Speaker's Corner. And so that's why I turned the camera on them. And I think the majority of them don't like it when you completely expose them for what they are, and they don't stay around long once you have exposed them, because I think they feel like the game's up. Everybody knows I'm a troll here, so I'm not going to convince anybody. But if I can pretend I'm a member of the public, saying, "Oh, arguing against what the guys are saying and trying to influence the narrative from the people walking by," then I think you're working. But once everybody knows, oh, this guy's a professional troll, then off he goes, and he left soon after.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what was your take on him, Dave?
Yeah, he was one of the few that I had, and he was definitely out to make mischief. Now, I mean, the only debate in my mind is whether he knew we were coming up here and was planning to be here, or whether he's just one of those people who is like so triggered by, he's heard about the flat earth and he's so triggered by that he sometimes that you will stumble across someone who's just like boom, touch fuse has been lit and it's ready to blow the moment they see you. So no, but he was trying to make a nuisance himself, and actually,
right.
That was one of those moments where Harry kind of did me a favor, because it can really throw you off your game when you got one person heckling and then messing with the conversation and trying to tell people around you other stuff while you're trying to deliver your thing. And I mean, I'll get that, where people are trying to interrupt and they'll try and ask you a question, they'll try and stop your flow. They don't want you to carry on, bellowing it. And so, yeah, this was one of those examples where it was nice to have someone pull the troll down a bit,
Yeah, it's really valid that you just brought that up. Would you guys say that you could kind of recognize patterns of behavior now with people like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
because they all have a very similar pattern, and it stands out because they're so different, so loud, so confident. Everybody else around them.
And is that generally people are curious, even if they're like whereas I learned that at Speaker's Corner, these guys will just stay on the same thing, and they don't want to. They just want to tip you on that. They don't hit you on the same thing, and they won't let the conversation move on, and they certainly aren't going to address any of the sort of evidences against the ball. They'll never give you anything. So again, it's about how much time do you have for the Ball Earth Society.
Yeah. No, I like that. The local news were there today, weren't they? The local newspaper, right? We mentioned that earlier on.
Yeah, the Cambridge Press or the Cambridge.
What are they called again? Sorry, I'm just trying to share the screen real quick.
Cambridge News, yeah.
Cambridge News, yeah. How did you feel they were when they were there? I just wanted to get you guys to give me a bit of a synopsis of how you felt, because I was very disappointed with the Nottingham one. We had 3 live feeds on him. He knew he was being live feed on YouTube, and he still misquoted us. So I know you guys have had an opportunity. That piece of me. I'm hoping.
Yeah, we had the opportunity to lay the ground rules down first when we spoke with them earlier. So I just re-emphasised what I didn't want printed, which was being labelled as conspiracy theorists or what was the other one I said it didn't be?
It's the belief. Matter. Yeah, stay away from belief.
Yeah, we kept using the word belief system. I said, no, I don't want the word belief there at all. We don't have any belief system. We don't have any models. We're just asking for proof of claims that we live on spinning ball. The claims we're making are that the horizon is always level, no matter how high you go, and water cannot form exterior shapes.
And do you feel that they represented it as best as it could be?
Yeah,
what's the general of the 3 of you?
Pretty accurately, about 95, 98%.
Yeah. 1 or 2 words could have been slightly better, but no, I think it was fair. It was fairly fair.
Okay, I'm going to give it a quick read, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, I think just looking at that heading that says
flat earthers,
yeah, but also that they're being lied to. Now it's a technical point, but this is the thing: is that the teachers aren't lying because they know they're lying. They're lying because they're nescient, because they don't actually know the truth. You know, it's not like they've gone to university and said, okay, you live on a flat earth, but you're going to go out and tell them that it's a ball. No. That would never work. And this is what I've been telling people, is that actually what they had to do was to start the universities like Cambridge, find the best professors and send them out in the world as ball boys. And then they went and spread that to all the clever clogs in the A students in the classes. And that's simply how it is. And is there somebody who, you know, who was in a room somewhere that said, yes, we know it's flat, we're going to get them to teach ball? Yes, probably there was. I don't know about that.
And whether the teachers think they're lying or not, it's still a lie.
Yeah.
Whether it's intentional or naivety, we're still being told lying.
Yes.
Yeah. Jason, what's your take on it?
Yeah, I think they were pretty fair with it. I've seen other articles around the world of news and that. So I think at this stage, I think it's the best that we could hope for. The title could have been improved, and that I think 99% okay. I'd say the title is, again, they're trying to pigeonhole us and label us. And I mean, for myself, I'm happy to be labeled as a flat earther, but this is me. This is a personal choice. This is something that I'm happy for. But I do accept that, like yourself, you know, like you are a globalist denier, and you're happy for that. This is my journey, you know, like, so I'm happy with my labels for my journey. But like, again, I mean, like, people are on their own journeys of this flat earth and this horrendous biggest lie ever told. They're on their own journeys.
This is hysterical. I'm creasing up at this. It's like the page isn't allowing me to use it properly as I'm trying to scroll down it to give everybody a synopsis of it. Guys, all right, I'm going to read a little bit out from it, if that's okay with you. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So it says here, a growing band of people who believe the earth is flat visited Cambridge today on October the 24th to challenge the view the earth is round. Harry MacDonald and Jason DISBURY of the Globe Lie UK tour visited Market Square to spread awareness about the lies and misinformation about the planet being spherical. The Friends and Harry's dog have been touring the UK and Ireland in a bus since September the 13th and say they have collected 200 pieces of evidence which prove their argument. They say this includes evidence gathered using the mathematics of spherical trigonometry. Harry told Cambridge Live, there is a team of about 5 or 6 of us, and we've decided to go around the UK visiting about 50 cities to try and engage the public. It's a decent picture of the both of you, actually.
I need a haircut.
Right.
And a shirt that doesn't have a guy's name.
Has it got a nice
We're here to engage the public in their perception and reality.
I know I used to wear whatever, but now I'm like, fuck, I include someone else's name on my
A reality, they say. Reality, they say they've had since 5 years old in school. This is in Santa Claus. All we're doing is asking natural science and observation. The only claims we're making is that it's to its lowest level and lies flat. We don't agree gravity is holding water low. We're looking for proof. The pair from Scotland and Liverpool said they've been tirelessly campaigning in the UK this year. Among the things they hope to disprove is that astronauts have been to space. They say pictures taken from Earth from outer space have long been faked. How do you feel? Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's it's a local paper, but it's great to have it out there. I think we agreed that the only other useful thing would have been to have a link to the website or the tour site website. Go and seek more info.
I mean, they've quoted Harry to say, I want to ask why people believe things without any proof. There is no proof that the Earth is a spinning ball. There's more scientific evidence of a flat plane. I'm looking for proof of claim. Every moment that tried to affect social change was in the minority. Sorry, every movement. As for public reaction, Harry says it's mixed, but welcomes debate. Did you say that, Harry? Did you actually say
debate? No, I just said we welcome discussion on the subject.
Yeah,
but it's just 2 little words that, and the flat earth at the beginning we didn't agree on, but everything else was accurate.
Anyway,
so it says, so far, the group have travelled from Taunton to Land's End in their quest to challenge people's views. Of the pairs which Jason said, I'm not here to convince anyone, people in a 10-minute discussion, not after a lifetime of indoctrination from schools. Yeah, I'd agree with that, Jason. What we are hoping to do is convince people to think for themselves. And if they know what the word debunk is, try to debunk flat earth theory and keep an open mind. What the people of Cambridge think of flat earth theory. Dozens of people gathered here to hear the pair's story. One onlooker who didn't want to be named said, I think it's pretty stupid. They haven't got any evidence the earth is flat. I've not heard or seen anything like this before in my life. 47 and administrator at Cambridge University said, I think it's an interesting idea, but I'm convinced there's plenty of evidence to suggest otherwise. Cambridge is flat, but I'm not sure about Earth. So, there we go with that one. And I think, did we? We did, didn't we? Yes, we did. Everyone saw the other one from Nottingham, didn't they? Did we? We did. Help! I can't remember. Somebody help me. Did we show it? Help! Can anyone hear me?
What are we?
Yeah. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
You all right?
Yeah, we did show the other one. Yeah, we showed the other news article, didn't we?
Yes, last time. Yes.
We did. We've already been there and done it. I've just got memory block. Have we showed it already?
Yes.
That's lovely. That's one less thing I have to do. So let me just go back here, stop sharing, and say, what a day. What a day. And what's worse, guys, I'm so sorry for you being there on the camper van just now. What's worse is that I I haven't finished talking yet. I'm so sorry. I'm not even done talking yet. There's a lot. There's a lot going on. You guys are in Chelmsford and Ipswich tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we are. Very early start tomorrow, and a radio broadcast.
Yeah, big time. So there's going to be 2 locations tomorrow. How is this going to be done? Is there any kind of speculative ideas for how you're going to go about that?
We're going to get up extremely early.
It's really extremely early. I normally get up in about an hour's time. I know you guys. This is what you guys do.
And
we obviously going to be hightailing it out. It's going to be interesting, I think, because to do a morning session, I assume we're going to do a morning session, early morning. So it'd be nice to get some of the morning.
That's what everyone's wondering.
And
that's what everyone's wondering. How are the 2 destinations going to be done? What kind of windows of time are they talking about?
Okay, so I believe the first destination is, or remind me, is it Ipswich the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got Ipswich the first one. That'll be done first thing in the morning. Okay. We're hoping to be there anywhere between 9 and 10 o'clock. You know, like we don't want to put a time on it, but it'll be as early as we possibly can. That should be in Westgate Street, just outside Ipswich Town Hall. And then I think we're going to be there between, for about approximately 2 to 3 hours. We'll just play that one by ear because that, it all depends on parking and things and how quick we can get back to the to the camper van and get on the road again to Chelmsford. And then once we're on the way to Chelmsford, we're hoping to get there for and get operational probably around about 2 o'clock. Hopefully, if we can get there for 2 o'clock, we should be in High Street in Chelmsford, somewhere outside Debenhams and McDonald's and that in on the High Street.
Okay.
We'll be looking. It's kind of the busiest part. We'll be looking for an empty shop somewhere.
Okay.
And then we should be there for approximately up till about 5 o'clock, I would think.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Are you going to be able to live stream going to this interview in the morning?
Yes, or an interview. It's very early in the morning, isn't it? It's 7:15.
I don't think that matters to anybody timing wise. I think either people would get up early to watch that or watch it straight up on a replay. I think there's any way possible that you could live stream, even just rolling in there, as soon as you get out that camper.
I could live stream the whole thing.
Please do. Listen, I'm looking to set my alarm and stuff. Like, what time do we need to set our alarms for, Harry?
Well, it's going to start at 7:15.
7:15 in the morning. Listen, UK time, people, 7:15 in the morning. These guys are going to do a BBC radio interview. If you want the exclusive of what's going down for that BBC interview tomorrow, like the real deal, the unedited, raw, uncut version of the real truth of the matter of what's going on, please click subscribe to these guys' channels. It's all in the description box. It's almost Russian roulette with whoever's is going to go live. It's going to be Harry, it's going to be Dave, it's going to be Jason. Either way, we're going to get the inside cut on what's going on tomorrow morning. So I strongly suggest that you hit that notification bell on their channels because they're going in there tomorrow. Like, they're here at 1 o'clock in the morning, and you just heard what they said. They're going BBC radio in the morning. So this is real deal, man. And then out on the streets, 2 locations.
Yeah, Roxanne, it's local BBC Radio Nottingham, but we're just doing it from the van. I'm going to do it over a Skype call, and I'll do a live video of that when we're doing it.
Well, either way, whether you're there in the van, in a tent, on the road, it doesn't matter to us as long as we get to hear what's going down. A little bit like you did on the phone in the alleyway with that interview that you did. Yeah, if we could just be on the inside of it like that, that's awesome. That's just what we want. Perfect. So 2 locations, radio interview tomorrow. Make sure you look at the description box. All the links for how to donate are in there. PayPal, GoFundMe, and Patreon. The tour desperately needs your help. There's 2 massive events going on this Sunday at Speaker's Corner. Sunday, the 28th of October, Speaker's Corner. If you live on a spinning ball and you want to get down there, meet other like-minded people, or have the discussion out there on the road, get down there on Sunday. London, 3rd of November, details to follow. If you know you're not on a ball, get to that event as well. You're all invited. Thank you so much for joining me this evening, guys. Viewers, you've been awesome. Massive shout to the chat room. If I could, before we just go this evening, I need to give the chat room a shout out. John Thor, thank you so much for being an awesome mod this evening, sharing those links in the chat room and interacting with everyone. Massive love to you. All the mods in the chat room. Massive love to you all. Tapper777, thank you for being here. My path, Jane of Torquay, thank you for tuning in. Amanda Fe, my darling, thanks for being here. Plain Permaculture, thanks for being here. Lou, thanks for tuning in. GoPro, Flat Earth, UK Dub. Hello, my darling. Thanks for tuning in. You came to Nottingham. Lovely to see you in the chat room. Edgar Mendex, thanks for tuning in. Richard Lopez, brother, thank you for being here. Massive love to you. The Purple Harpoon, thanks for tuning in. And to Flat Earth Trav, thanks for being here with us as well. Critical Inception, thanks for tuning in. Drew Inner Earth, thanks for being here with us. Joey Rocha, all the way from Hawaii. My auntie's flying back to Hawaii tomorrow, so massive love to my Hawaiian brother over there. And yeah, to everyone that's been in the chat room. Tommy Rogers, massive love to you as well. Thanks for tuning in to literally everybody's live stream today. Massive love. In fact, there was a lot of people in everybody's stream, so for everyone that took the time out to keep on top of things, thanks to you. Chris Upton, thanks for being here with us as well. And yeah, I can see you all interacting in the chat room. It's lovely. Dartman, thanks for being there as well. Rick D, thanks for tuning in too. Global Fiction, thanks for being there as well. So many people in the chat room, guys. There's lots of love in the chat room for you. Lots of love. So again, thanks for being with us. We've robbed late. The guys have got an early start, so I'm going to let them go. They're in Chelmsford and Ipswich tomorrow. All the rest of the dates are in the description. But everything you need is in the description box. So just go there. If you've got any questions, description box. Dates, locations, description box. Donate, description box. Channels, description box. More Flat Earth info, description box. It's all there for you. Massive love to you all. Guys, have an awesome night on the camper van. I'm so proud of everything that you've done today. You've done us all proud. Monumental effort. Big love to you all.
Big thank you to everybody who's